My name's Andrew Rees. We farm in Pembrokeshire near the Pembrokeshire coast. Our farm's about 450 acre, predominantly dairy, with a focus on soil health and regenerative practices. We probably started changing things on farm from about 2018 on. We've moved from sort of the conventional mindset of grass-based dairying, short grazing rotations, nitrogen fertiliser, and although that was profitable and worked, it was also reliant on regular rainfall. Summer rainfall has got less predictable, which has put pinch points in a time of year when historically we haven't had pinch points before. Also, we've been in a growth phase of the business probably for 9 or 10 years, and we'd sort of reached where we wanted to get to and sort of almost probably felt lost for a time period of, well, actually, where do we go next? I think people's perceptions of regenerative agriculture are changing, and when you sort of stop and explain why you're doing something, you see it sort of the penny drop with them and understand, yeah, that sounds really good. But then the question as far as why aren't other people doing it? As farmers, we've become quite reliant on the supply industry, and a lot of the sort of knowledge transfer comes out those with the best interest of what to sell you. You may use an agronomist to sort of tell you what to use on crops, but surprise, surprise, they can also sell you what they suggest you need to apply to your crops. A common comment that change into sort of more regenerative practice would mean a reduction in production. Doesn't necessarily mean that if it's done in a staged approach. Personally, I've more come to the conclusion is if we're not using the inputs, does our production need to be the same? All our inputs have a cost, so if we can achieve the same profit figure with less inputs, surely that's better. If you're happier and the cows are happier. It's a change in mindset and how you think about things. And once you've sort of made that paradigm shift in your own head and start seeing things differently, what I would have thought as a problem in the past, perhaps it isn't anymore. Like if you take sort of, say, weeds, for example, it used to be sort of quite, got to spray them, it looks untidy. But actually, nature isn't tidy. Nature has sort of allowed that plant to germinate for a reason. So it's your management is the problem why that weed is there. The challenge is addressing that management, and that weed can no longer compete and will gradually disappear. Find what interests you, pursue it, seek out farmers which are already doing things, go see them, see how it works. Have a safe to fail area on farm, try things out. Don't go out and sort of change everything overnight off the back of what somebody else has said. You've got to be confident in your own mind of what works for you. Every farm will be different, every farmer will be different, that we all have different goals and outlooks on life, that finding what works for you and your farm is going to be slightly different to your neighbour or me or somebody the other side of the country. But understanding the principles are going to remain constant across us and sticking to them.
Improve your soil health and increase your farm's productivity. Get started with Rumi today by clicking on the link in the description.